Our topic today, a call for dating coaches to do this. We're going to dive into this conversation today. Now, listen, from what I've observed, we dating coaches are really good at telling people what not to do, how to avoid the wrong person, vet them out, that sort of thing. And of course, we talk about confidence and attraction. But what about building authentic friendships? The following that I'm about to share is merely my observations, and I want to share a letter that I wrote to my contemporaries. We'll see who actually reads it. So the letter goes like this. The title is Open Letter to Dating Coaches and the Industry We Help Shape. A note before I read. What follows is not a claim of universal truth. It's based on my observations after many years of coaching, studying relationships, watching how dating education has evolved. If your work already deeply addresses what I'm about to name, I respect that. My intention here is to dialogue, not division. This isn't a takedown. It's merely an observation and also an invitation. To the dating coaches, relationship educators, content creators, including some of the most visible voices in the space like Matthew Hussey, most of us have good intentions. We want people to suffer less. We want them to avoid heartbreak. We want to help them make better choices, set boundaries, and stop repeating painful patterns. And from what I've observed across the industry, we do encourage pacing. We do talk about discernment. And we do warn people not to rush attachment. What I rarely see taught in clear, practical ways, however, is the skill of building friendship. Friendship is often referenced conceptually as something that should happen naturally, as something that should naturally emerge if two people just slow down to get to know each other. In my experience, it doesn't happen that way. Friendship is a skill. It involves curiosity without an agenda, care without performance, consistency without attachment, enjoyment without urgency. From what I've observed and seen, many people are told to pace, but not shown what to do inside the pace. I want to repeat that. You're told to pace, but no one tells you what to do in the pacing. So they slow down, yet still date from a performative place. They delay sex, yet still bond through intensity. They take more time, yet attach through forms before liking is clearly established. Let me repeat that. Before liking is clearly established. Without friendship building skills, pacing becomes a holding pattern, not a foundation. Chemistry still leads. Attraction still sets the tone. Attachment still forms before someone asks the quieter, more important questions. Do I actually like this person? Do I feel emotionally safe with them? Do I care about their well-being beyond how they make me feel? Let me repeat that. Do I care about their well-being beyond how they make me feel? Would I want this person in my life even if romance unfolded slowly? When things fall apart, people often blame themselves for choosing the wrong person rather than recognizing that they were never taught how to assess friend worthiness in the first place. From my vantage point, this appears to be a gap in the modern dating education, not a lack of care, not a lack of integrity, and not a lack of intention, a lack of explicit tools for building friendship. How do we discover whether we genuinely like someone outside of chemistry? How do we build closeness without fast tracking intimacy? How do we create emotional safety without oversharing or trauma bonding? Did you hear that? Trauma bonding. How do we allow romance to emerge from trust rather than using it to manufacture connection? These are teachable skills. And if we don't make them explicit, people will continue to default to what they already know: attraction, intensity, validation, and attachment. Let me repeat that: attraction, intensity, validation, and attachment. I've always talked about it from the attraction, entertainment, romance, and physical connection is where people often land. So this isn't about calling out anyone. It's about evolving our curriculum as dating coaches. And from what I've observed, we truly want healthier relationships. If we want less heartbreak, if we want people choosing partners based on reality rather than potential, then friendship can no longer be implied. Can I repeat that? Friendship can no longer be implied. It has to be taught, because attraction opens the door. Pacing slows the pace, but friendship reveals whether love actually belongs there. So, a closing invitation to my peers. If you're a coach, therapist, or educator in this space, and you are teaching concrete friendship building skills, I'd genuinely love to learn more. I'd love to learn how you do your approach. And if this post sparked any reflection, disagreement, or dialogue, that matters too. Our industry has helped millions date better. Perhaps the next evolution is helping them love better. That was a post on my Facebook page, and I just want you to know something. It's generated a lot of conversation, which is why I wanted to shoot this video today. And while this is a call to the dating coaching industry, for those of you that are single looking for love, or those of you actually in a relationship right now, I want to encourage this conversation about building friendship. I know now, let's talk about a few things right off the bat. A lot of people are going to say, I don't want to be in the friend zone. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about putting someone in a category that says, I'll never sleep with them, because that's what the friend zone is all about. It's someone you don't want to build a partnership, but you might have a social connection with. I'm talking about the juicy, delicious aspects of love. And that is being with someone who's genuinely your friend, someone you can feel safe with, someone that you can open up your heart to, someone you have built trust with. Sadly, and I am so guilty of what I'm about to share, we oftentimes hyper-focus on chemistry, or as I said earlier, attraction, entertainment, romance, and physical connection. And somehow we're supposed to divine friendship out of that. Now, for the women watching this, I know this is a challenge, because we men lead with sex. We are driven, not just driven biologically, which is one aspect of it, but we have gleaned the belief that through sex we can find love. And while that works like a broken clock, right, twice a day, for those 22 other people out of the 2 that got it right, there's 22 people going, hey, I just slept with this person. I don't even know if I like them. This is why now pacing does matter. Pacing, going slow, does matter. But it also means we have to vet within that slowness, and not just vet, but build trust. Can someone write that down? Vetting is to determine their emotional maturity. Trust is about building a connection where this person actually cares about your well-being. And I don't think we can do that if we have sex on the first, second, or third date, let alone the 4th or 5th date, depending on how much conversation you had prior. And doesn't have to always be, can be on the phone, but that can be really tricky too. And I'm going to talk about that in future videos. So going slow. Now, some people like to say they want to go slow, but what that usually means, just so you know, going slow is I want to go really fast on the sex, but I want to go really slow on building commitment. By the way, ladies, if you ever hear a man say, let's take it slow, I would almost suspect he says that right after he had physical intimacy with you. And the slow represents, I don't want to get emotionally attached to you. I don't want to plan any commitment with you. And this is why the idea of holding off physical intimacy makes sense. But what are you doing in between? Well, this is what we coaches need to, or at least I'm encouraging to do. So I've just laid out 5 things that I think we coaches could do better. I want to share that. And again, for any of you coaches, including the big name out there, Matthew Hussey, and a few others out there, if you already do this, great. I'm just speaking to our entire industry. So number one, and I'm going to read from my notes. Teach people how to build authentic friendships first before romance, sex, or the labels. Help people learn how to be curious, playful, consistent, genuinely interested in another human being. Now, I want someone to write this down for me, okay? Number 1, to be curious, to actually be curious about this person, not from a place of what can I get, but from an objective point of view. Be curious about their life. I think it's important to get a sense of who someone was before you met them, to get some idea of where they're at today, but more importantly, get curious on where they want to go. So it's a conversation about, how did you get to where you're at today? Where are you today? And where do you want to go in your life from a romantic relationship perspective? I think curiosity didn't kill the cat. It's what builds trust. Now, I certainly said playful. I mean, it's kind of the whole point of being in a romantic relationship. You want to feel a sense of joy. You want to feel a sense of happiness. You want to feel a sense of connection. And certainly consistency matters. Now, this gets really tricky for those that live anywhere more than 20 minutes from somebody. It's very difficult to have consistency when it's 30, 40, 50 minutes to an hour, or a plane ride away, or a long car ride away. It's hard to build authentic friendship and consistency through social activities, hobbies, mutual interests, spending time with family and friends, and certainly traveling together, and teamwork building skills, both in your personal and your professional life. That is how trust is built. And lastly, genuinely interested in another human being. See, sadly, for the women listening to this, when we men are driven by sex, and certainly you are susceptible to the love bombing, you're susceptible to our overt affections, to a stranger. How can we know we like someone until we've invested, I say, at a minimum of 100 hours of face-to-face time to build the first layer of trust, I believe I listened to Jay Shetty say it takes 200 hours of time to build a genuine friendship. 200 hours. Well, now some people are listening to this. I'm not going to wait 200 hours to have sex, or even 100 hours to have sex. I get it. Sex is part of the equation, but certainly you could do a lot better job eliminating people much sooner if you had some discernment skills. And if you need some support with that, check out the link below to schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with the coach is right for you. My contemporaries don't need to do that, but for those of you single and looking for love. All right, the second thing I'm recommending they do, they make emotional safety the foundation, not the bonus. This is what we should be talking about, making emotional safety the foundation, not the bonus. Attraction might open the door, and so many dating coaches hyper-focus on attraction. In fact, most male dating coaches that are helping, or male and female dating coaches that are helping men, that's all they focus on, is what is attractive. Well, sure, that opens the door, but that doesn't build safety. Let me repeat that. But safety is what allows people to relax, be honest, and stay connected over time. Let me repeat that. Emotional safety is the foundation that allows people to relax, to be honest, and stay open over a period of time. And this is what I'm encouraging my contemporaries, all of those out there, the educators, the content creators, to start to incorporate in their conversations. Number 3, now we've talked about slowing down so trust can emerge naturally. Authentic friendship can't be manufactured or rushed. So yeah, we're doing a good job talking about slowing down. Pacing gives space for character, values, emotional maturity to reveal themselves. There's no doubt pace matters. But what is it we should be talking about during the slowdown period? That's the key. They just say slow down sex, but they don't say what to how to build the connection within that framework. There is a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Win and Influence Friends. Did I say that right? What's the name of that book? I know I have it up here somewhere. Anyway, that's might give you some guidance. Also, here's another book, 8 Dates by Doctors John and Julie Gottman. I highly recommend checking out this book. This lays out 8 great conversations to have during the slowdown period. And by the way, ladies, before the penis goes inside the vagina, you should be reading this book. If you get attached sexually to someone, you should be reading this book. Number 4, we should help clients assess emotional capacity, not just chemistry. Chemistry is common. Emotional availability, integrity, and repair skills are what determine long-term compatibility. One of the exercises in my coaching is called Radical Honesty, Pre-Qualifying Your Prospect. And also, I have another exercise called Gauge his or her emotional maturity. Gauge their emotional maturity. Now, there's another great book I highly recommend reading. This is a 30-year-old book. It's called Are You the One for Me by Barbara DeAngelis. Knowing who's right and avoiding who's wrong. Oh my God, this is an amazing book. Oh, by the way, all the books I recommend in the Jonathan recommended reading list. So click on that list. You'll have my entire reading list, okay? I'm going to tell you something. These two books, along with my book, What the Heck is Self-Love Anyway? A Journey of Personal Development, Self-Help, and Spiritual Work. I've got to plug my book, right? These books are going to help you not just slow down the process or what to do. But I know some of you ladies watching this, but Jonathan, I'm just told to sit back in my feminine energy and let men lead because men are such good leaders of the relationship. Ladies, I'm here to say to you, if men were such good leaders of the relationship, why is the relationship industry got 50 billion dating coaches trying to help you guys if men were such good leaders of the relationship? And I know there's a lot of content out there telling you that the real problem is women. The problem isn't women. The problem isn't men. The problem is human beings are rather fucking dysfunctional. That's the problem. They haven't healed their childhood wounds or adult traumas to make them actually relationship capable. In fact, I recommend everybody read the book, The Hoffman Process. The Hoffman Process. This is a deep dive into healing your childhood wounds and your adult traumas. So it actually makes you better prepared to be in relationship. And I know I'm yelling and screaming because I'm so passionate, because this is a call not just to those watching, but to my contemporaries to start elevating our game, to start helping people evolve as individuals so they can be better prepared to be in relationships. And lastly, number 5, refine the dating success as mutually choosing, not performance-based. Oh my God, so many people hyper-focus on how we should perform in the dating process instead of making it a choosing process from an emotional safe place. Healthy relationships aren't built by impressing or proving worth. They are formed when two people feel safe enough to choose each other freely. Sadly, so many content creators are hyper-focused that men must climb to the highest room of the tallest tower to prove themselves to a woman. Well, that works when we want to get laid, okay? I'm just going to say it plain and simple. But you know what? I'm here to encourage two people mutually investing in one another to build that heart-centered connection through some level of trust with one another, some level of understanding one another, some level of going, I like one another, instead of the performative nature we've adopted, which is attraction, entertainment, romance, and physical connection. Is this sinking in? Is this resonating with you? If it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hey, do me a favor. If this did resonate with you, post a comment below. I'd like to hear what you have to share. As always, if you find value in my videos, please hit that like button. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of new videos. And if you want to connect with me, hey, there's links below. Schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with a coach is right for you. There's links to join my group called Midlife Love Mastery. There's links to find me on social media. By the way, you want to follow my Facebook page now because I am definitely doing a lot of blogging there. And if you want to get any of the books I recommend, all listed below.